Thank you all for coming. So we got a new booth. It's pretty spectacular. We've got an elbow room, and the fellow that helped us construct it is with us. So thank you so much, Hans. Looks great. This is the new Martin Journal, and I get asked to write the introduction. I was joking this morning. How many of you worked with Dick Boak? Okay, so you know he was quite a character and a pretty prolific author. So I get to write the introduction, and I've spent about as much time on that as Dick Boak would on an entire article. But I was looking for something that I could connect what I'm going to talk to you about in terms of this standard line with our history. Because it isn't very often that the Martin Guitar Company takes what's known as their standard line and significantly reconfigures it. And so we came up with the term reimagined. Right, makes sense. And I love the dictionary. I still have a real dictionary. I mean, I like Wikipedia, but I still have a real dictionary at home. And I'm sitting, my Barca lounger, writing version after version of this thing, and I said, I need something to kick it off. And I've often done this. I've often used a word from the dictionary and then used the definition of the word to help lead someone into something I was trying to get across in writing. So I looked up the word reimagine. And it's to imagine again, or anew, especially to form a new conception of. Well, that makes sense. That's what we're doing. But what really struck me, and for those of you that are Martin history aficionados, you'll get this connection immediately. And if not, if you look in all of the history books, the word reimagined, according to the dictionary that I have at home, the Webster's Dictionary, they believe was coined, came into being in 1934. Now, if you're a Martin history buff, you know that 1934 was a very important year for the standard series Martin guitars, because that was the point at which we took, particularly with the Dreadnought, moved away from the 12-fret wide flat fingerboard slot head and installed the 14-fret neck that was already on the orchestra model. And that was really the beginning of the modern Martin Dreadnought guitar. So here we are now, after 185 years of being in business, doing it again. And we didn't take this task lightly. And I had a chance this morning to talk to our international distributors, and you are aware, you follow, particularly if you're in the trades, and I've noticed now even with the consumer publications, you're much more willing to engage the reader in some of the inside stuff, like around CITES, that you're willing to, because people, they see it, they know stuff's happening, and I appreciate that you're willing to kind of bridge the gap between what we know on the inside and what the outside world may or may not be reading truthfully on the internet. So, if necessity is the mother of invention, think about 1934. In the midst of the worst depression that ever hit America, my family decided it was appropriate to redesign the most important, ultimately the most important guitar we ever made. And so once again, I will tell you honestly, we felt a need to do something in the past year or two to re-excite the dealer and the consumer, because the acoustic guitar business flattened out. We think we've found a floor. Check with me Sunday afternoon to verify whether or not that's the truth, but the buzz seems to be good that, hey, the acoustic guitar is still alive and kicking. So we started this journey of, in some respects, modernizing, but also looking back on the standard series with the D18. If you remember a couple years ago, and our dealer said, hey, this is great. You've got the standard model, and you've got the vintage model, and you've got the this model and the that model. I can't stock them all. We said, okay, that's a problem. What could we do? So we took what we thought were the best of all of those different models and put it in frankly, a very affordable package. And the response was, yes, that's good value. and it's a good product. So then my colleagues said to me, Chris, I know this is, it's a challenge, and people will look back at this time, but isn't it time to do that with the D28? And I said, sure it is. And at that point, everyone in the room had a a somewhat completely different idea of what we were going to end up with. And the hardest part of that conversation, and I'll go back to Dick Boak, because Dick kept saying, Chris, if we should put scallop racing on the D28. I said, Dick, we do. It's called the HD28. And he'd go, oh, yeah. So that was, okay, are we going to blend these two together and come out with one model? And I said, I would prefer not to. And everyone's like, but people will think it's great. I said, but wait a minute. The D28 as we know it, not the D28 that my great-grandfather knew with scallop racing and herringbone trim. The D28 that we know doesn't have scallop racing and doesn't have herringbone trim. And it has a following. It has a following, and as does the HD28. Well, you should have been in the room, right, Mitchell? It was a lively conversation, to say the least. And then I said, let's just do it with the D28 for now. And then hold that thought. And very quickly, at the Summer NAMM show, that's what we did. So we went from this to that for the Summer NAMM show. And it was successful. We actually had an initiative to attempt, and you would think this would be easy. Mitchell's new, and he's like, that should be easy. I said, Mitchell, this is not going to be easy. Shouldn't every Martin dealer on earth have one in stock? Right? If you're a Martin dealer, you should have a new D28 in stock. Well, it wasn't easy, but it was a task we believe we achieved, right? But it took a lot of kind of, cajoling and reminding. And if you're a Martin dealer and you don't want a D28, why are you a Martin dealer? So from that, we have all of this stuff that I'm not going to go into. One of the things I think you hope you'll appreciate, and Skip, we went back and forth on this, is making it really simple now. If you see a standard series rosewood Martin guitar with herringbone trim, it has scallop racing. That's the deal going forward. Should I tell them the challenge I offered to you the other night at dinner? So we're all settled. We've got the specs written. We've got them in production. Simple story. I said, Skip, except remember, back in maybe 1945, when we stopped scalloping the braces, and that the reasons are murky, variety of reasons, that kind of stuff. Today we document all those changes. We actually have a written, what's called a change notice. But back in 1945, someone said, stop scalloping the braces. But we still had herringbone trim laying around. So there are some, what I'll call, during the war, Martin D28s that were made that didn't have scallop bracing and herringbone trim, but that's another model for another time. We have some new strings. I'm not the expert on any of this stuff. Mitchell's going to come up for a second, and then we're going to direct you around the room, beverages, food. I'm really happy we're doing this. You all look so bright-eyed and bushy-tailed, and savor this moment. It's the best you're going to feel for the next 4 days.
Hey guys, it's Captain here. I'm with Danish Pete. We are on the Martin booth on day -1 of the NAMM show. You've probably just heard a little bit of Chris Martin talking about what they've done to change the standard series, D28 Reimagined. I think as we've got the beautiful and wonderful Mr. Danish Pete here, one of the finest acoustic guitar players in Guildford. We'd have a little listen. Let's have a close-up of the guitar.
Yeah, so this is the new D28 Reimagined. So they've done what they did with the D18, scallop bracing, different neck shape, and all of this stuff. Nice, just great. Look at that.
Give it a play. Give it a play. Do you want to bend down? Do you want a stool? Do you want a seat?
I can stand on this.
He's a professional.
So it's got a lot of punch to it, right? Okay, mean, I think it's great. The neck feels really nice, and it's that performance artist kind of neck with the little balloon. I love the balloon. No, it's not a tune.
I don't know if you saw my favourite thing, and this is so entirely superficial and aesthetic. I just like the fact they've put the tint on the top, because the outgoing D28 was really white, wasn't it?
Yeah. They had white behind it. Everything was white. But you know, as you know, all the Martin guitars are different colours. If you look at the different tops, so they'll start off quite light, and then they can go dark, like the M36 there. So they can go dark, and if you keep them in the case, or you take them out, they'll the wood will breathe, because it's all nitro lacquer, so it'll breathe, and it'll take the colour in, and it'll go darker and darker the more you use it. I mean, that's just a great looking guitar, isn't it?
Give it a big strum with the plectrum.
I've got a plectrum.
Oh.
Nothing wrong with that, is there? You want to have a go?
Yeah.
You have a go. You have a quick go.
Ah, it's great.
What's not to like, man? What's not to like? This is quite interesting. This guitar here has got the same metal pins as the 200
The Time
Deluxe.
Machine one
Yeah.
thing. Yeah.
So the really expensive one, and this has got carbon fiber, and it's a different neck. And feel how light this is.
Doesn't weigh anything.
It
doesn't weigh
it's
anything.
A slope shoulder thing.
But hey, Pete, let's go.
Hey,
because
let's go this way.
to be honest with you, about 4 or 5 guitars down gets sexy,
It gets
exciting.
sexy. Okay. This is the Purple Martin, which I'm a massive fan of.
Purple
Check that.
Martin, Purple Martin.
Which has got a catalogs back and sides, which is just apparently a form of plum wood.
Really?
And you know I enjoy it.
You love the plums.
But beautiful, look at that.
Catalogs.
With the Blue Martin. Catalogs.
So many
look at
good-
that. It's beautiful. With loads of bear claws in it. Which either you like bear claws or not. This is called bear
I
claws.
like the scratch plate. Oh, this is Dwight Yoakam's, isn't
Dwight
it?
Yoakam.
Pair of twos. I know that's a good thing.
Yeah, absolutely. We like
Anyway,
that.
keep
That's very
going.
cool.
Come
Keep
on,
going,
we're nearly
keep
there.
going. The CEO, 2.8.
CEO, there's Chris Martin.
Yeah,
He,
yeah.
every year he kind of goes, I know what would be cool. This would be cool. Anyway.
Yeah. Now,
Ah.
so this one here is the
Hi, John.
limited edition 50 of these.
Hi,
John
hi,
Mayer.
hi, John. Hi.
Which is
I'm not weird at all.
This is a recreation of a D45 that John bought in Japan, apparently, and he called it the beach guitar. So he takes this guitar to the beach. So to feel the neck on
Like
this.
you do. I know. I've played it already.
Yeah. So it's
You
got
need
a
to play this again.
Massive chunky neck. It's got a massive chunky neck on it. It's Guatemalan rosewood back and sides.
Oh,
So it's very, very pretty.
where's the rosewood from?
very-
It's a lot lighter than.
Guatemalan.
I don't know if that's why, but it's a lot
With
lighter than normal
really
rosewood,
thick,
even
thick
with a
neck.
slightly different grain,
It's
isn't it?
beautiful.
But,
I really, really like that.
Can
And
you
it's
can you
limited to
can you
50,
play some? Is it? No, it's 45, isn't it?
I thought
Isn't
it was
that the whole
55.
D45
Maybe 45,
thing?
Maybe that's what it is. But
We've ordered one of these, but have been told by Martin that about 500 people have tried to order them, so they're literally going to have to pull 45 names out of the hat and then.
Really?
Yeah, and that's what you get.
because that would be great if we could do get it back
Wouldn't
in
it?
the studio.
Come on, give it a play.
man, this is so nice. This is so nice.
It's got just an enormous baseball bat neck on it, hasn't it?
Yeah, a massive, massive neck. And
anyway,
I love a massive neck.
So there you go. Maybe we'll get one of those into Andertons. Who
Let's
knows?
hope.
We can but hope.
That was really nice.
Then you've got a bit of Johnny Cash, Ring of Fire.
Oh, and there's an Isbell, which is if you don't. So this is Jason Isbell, and if you don't know him, you should check him out. He's a great artist. He does some great music.
Yeah, I'm not familiar. And then there's some guy here. Apparently he's popular.
Yeah,
I'm not really sure.
They're like this.
Is he? Yeah, did he said something like billion, zillion albums? Or something like that?
Absolutely.
Anyway,
Fire and Ice.
Ooh.
Check this thing out here.
Check this bad boy. This is another one of those like if you win the lottery and you got $40,000 burning a hole in your pocket.
Have a look at this coming around here.
Look at this.
Phoenix, man. Ice,
baby. Phoenix Nights.
Beautiful.
Anyway, that's not the interesting one, is it?
This is very, very interesting.
I saw this and I thought to myself, oh, that's the kind of guitar I'd like to own. And then I saw the price tag and thought, woo!
So these are...
Or I could buy a hospital wing.
So these are the authentic aged guitars. And I remember when we were here last year, they had a D28. Do you remember that?
Yeah, I do.
And I saw it from afar, and I was like, "What is that? I need to see this now!" Because I've always sort of mentioned or sort of probed, why don't you do relic guitars? And now, check this out. D45. It is Brazilian rosewood, so we probably won't see it in the UK. Which means the rosewood is the saga of rosewood is bad. Brazilian rosewood, forget about it.
Even worse, yeah.
And the price, of course.
Can we hear you play a $65,000 guitar?
Yeah.
Yes. Right, everybody.
Interesting. This is very.
I can hear every single one of the $65,000 notes there.
Man, this is good. So this is very interesting because this neck is very similar to the John Mayer, not as fat, but.
Where do you think they got that John Mayer? So that's his D45 from what year?
He bought it. I'm not quite sure when it's from, but he bought it in Japan somewhere, and it's the guitar he takes to the beach. Just like taking an.
If I had this guitar, I'd take it to the beach, obviously with its own minder.
Yeah.
Let's move a bit further down the authentic range to something that is at least slightly affordable.
I will grab this, and now you're holding the microphone, and this is the T28. Look at that color of that yellow. Look at that color. I mean, that is just beautiful. Look at that. I mean, this is just great as well. Very similar.
Oh,
sound. Well, that Martin sound, isn't it? Is this? Is that Adele one? It's just that Martin thing, man. Oh, anyway, that's only $10,000.
Is that all?
Yeah.
I'll take two.
And there's Adirondack spruce with the Madagascar rosewood back inside on that one.
Madagascar, one of my favourite films.
This is the 18, which is very interesting again. It's only 8,399. But this is so light as well.
It's a much mellower tone, isn't it?
I prefer the D28. And so we know 18 is always mahogany back inside. Everything else up is rosewood back inside. That one, Madagascar rosewood. That one, Brazilian rosewood. Hence the price. But look at these little. Have a look here. This is all the aging that's done. With the cracked top, and all the little marks where your nails would hit, and where your pick would hit here and there. We've got the little dings from your belt.
Packy boons. Well, there you go, people. For all of you that love to comment about how crazy the electric guitar market is on the Relic thing. Yeah. Now you can comment about the acoustic guitar market as well.
Now you can get three Fender Relic Fender Strats for
I'm
one
just,
of these. So these ones we've done before.
So I don't think there's anything terribly new here.
There's a cherry here, so you know Martin do the FSC.
Want to see what cherry looks like?
Yeah. So this is all certified wood. So they're trying to use wood in their guitars. That is.
Performing artists has always been about being super environmentally friendly.
Yeah. So these ones we've done.
We showed you last year when it was first launched, and I kind of thought, you know, it's pretty cool, but I don't know if this is.
We've done a video on that,
and we've sold loads.
Yes. And we did a video on these, so go back and have a look at that. Me and Ariel did a video on these.
Very cool. These are all new.
These are all new as well. So again, with the X series, I've had a little bit of a.
X series is super popular.
Yeah.
This is basically if you haven't got $65,000 to buy a Martin guitar, and you're more like you've got $65 to buy a Martin guitar, this is kind of more the end that you would be at.
Yeah. And you can see they've got a sunburst now, or Madagascar burst. What does that say?
Macassar.
Macassar burst.
Yeah.
I like it. I think it's great. And again,
wasn't he in The Lion King? Wasn't he the monkey?
Look at that.
I'm pretty sure all of these jokes were ones I did last year.
Yeah, probably. Yeah, absolutely. I'm sure. Look at that. That's really cool. So that's a high pressure laminate.
So this is a veneer, and then so underneath this veneer is basically a really clever way that they've got of taking all of the offcuts and the bits of wood that isn't used during production and squishing it all together to create what's called a high pressure laminate.
Yeah.
So it's a kind of a wood derivative type product, and then they make the backs and the sides out of these guitars from that, and then the piece of wood on the front is a solid piece of spruce.
Yeah. Spruce, spring clean.
I like this.
Yeah.
I kind of think I do. I think if I'd grown up and experienced the summer of love and all that kind of stuff, this would perhaps have more meaning for me. Let's hear it first. Let me hear this Californian 64.
Okay. You
thing.
hold that?
I will.
I mean, these guitars always sounds good. Got such a mellow, nice ring to them. Such a nice tone, right? I like it.
I kind of think that what this does is highlight just how much better the other guitars are.
Yes, it does.
I don't mean that this is a bad guitar.
But for the money.
Yeah. I just mean as in when you hear this, it hasn't got the life and that sparkle magic.
Absolutely agree. Absolutely agree.
But I guess if we compared this to other £600-700 guitars, it would probably be pretty good.
Wood doesn't matter.
Of course it does. Right, let's go.
Let's get high.
What did they say? What was their thing about this? If you can dream it, we can build it, or something like that.
Absolutely. And so these, have a look around on these. The coin guitar there, with the coins in it.
What would you dream, Pete? If you were gonna have a dream, maybe you'd had a bit of cheese before you'd gone to bed, like quite a lot of cheese, and you had a dream about making a Martin guitar. What would it be?
I'm not sure, man. I like the standard stuff. I'm a big fan of the standard stuff. But
it's a boring dream.
I know it is a boring dream, but I'm a boring guy. You know what
now
I mean?
I know that's not true.
No, but I mean, so you can have anything. Any words, any.
I think if I had a dream where I was dressed as a jester playing to Henry VIII in his kind of court.
Look at that guitar, though.
That's what I would be playing. I'd be playing a little.
Isn't that beautiful?
They call it a size 2.
Yes, but that's a different size.
Which begs the question.
Look at that.
Which was the size 1?
It's a bit smaller.
Right.
But look at that. Look at that.
I know, that's
here.
a stunner, isn't it?
Isn't that beautiful?
Yeah.
I mean, that's a great.
So that would be my kind of.
Yeah.
Like, sort of, I don't know, sort of old 500 year ago, maybe court jester dream.
Yeah.
Over here, don't know if I'd be dreaming about any of these.
Some flame maple.
Like a flamey thing, yeah. If I was.
Maple
oh,
flames.
look at that! Look at that!
Look at this flame here.
I tell you.
That looks like the flame licking the roof when there's a fire in a building.
Yes.
I can smell cheese.
Don't know. Would you dream of that? I mean, basically, it's just a white guitar, isn't it? I mean,
I think it looks cool.
It does, but
I think it looks cool.
I don't know. This is supposed to be the bit where if you can dream it, we can build it.
Yes, but so maybe somebody dreamt up a white guitar. Yeah. Look at this.
I might dream of this.
Hey, nylon string guitar. This looks a bit like a Willie Nelson guitar.
Who?
Willie Nelson.
What's Mick Taylor's joke about Willie Nelson? What's the worst thing that someone can say?
Willie Nelson can say to you after he's
had sex with you.
So yeah.
It's like, hi, I'm Willie Nelson.
I'm not Willie Nelson.
Anyway, Mick Taylor told that joke.
Mick Taylor told that joke. We've got it in a video.
I like this. This is a cool detail. I mean, like...
Oh yeah, there's no scratch plate.
I didn't want a scratch plate, but I kind of wanted an outline.
You know who doesn't have scratch plates on their guitar?
Who?
Ed Sheeran.
Right.
And on his custom shops, he doesn't have it either.
Now we are in the inspiring musicians section. These are just some of the more affordable guitars in the Martin range. So
well, you got these all electric guitars here. So E for electric on the Martin.
See.
Yeah. So this will be like amber tone will be the sunburst color, and then it'll be a D for dreadnought and a C for cutaway. And then it'll have E for electric. That's kind of how it works, you know. So this one here is it's a Dreadnought Junior. So again,
that's been mega popular, hasn't it?
Junior, yeah.
That's kind of been the competitor to like the Taylor GS Mini, isn't it?
Yeah, absolutely.
Done really well.
Done really well. And then you've got, you know, I like these grand. So GP Grand Performance, C for cutaway. 28 is the style. So the style is the inlays. 28 will have the herringbone inlays.
I think we should end with Pete strumming another guitar, maybe my favourite one of the whole show, which I don't really know what it might be. But anyway, thanks for watching our Martin coverage from the NAMM show live.
Thank you very much for watching.
Live in California. And
remember that we've got...
Always look left and right before you cross the road.
Exactly. Keyboard channel, go and check out there. Go and check tech channel out. Go and check drum channels out, because there'll be much more stuff on those channels coming up very soon. And subscribe to all our channels, please. See ya.